Hola y bienvenidos a la Deuces Wild Daily Hustle. Soy Enrique Byrnes y presidente es el mejor cerveza. No abate por No Filter Network. Miguelito Santiaguito, not with us today. Will the Thrill Clark, not with us today. But as you guys know, each and every single morning we come on here, or afternoon in this case, we like to properly salute our boys and each and every one of you. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! Remember this, folks. When we are juiceful, we are useful. And when we are juiceless, we are fucking useless. A very pleasant good morning, good afternoon, good evening to some in other parts of the world. And I'm trying to mess around with my microphone headset here just to get it right. I don't know. It's so touchy. Anyhow, regardless, it is good to be back. Actually, was down in Huntington Beach this past week. And I say Huntington Beach, but really it wasn't. It was first San Diego, and then San Diego to Fullerton to Huntington Beach, and then Huntington Beach back to Fullerton. Fullerton was where we were playing the LTP baseball tournament. So, without further ado, let's get right into today's Daily Hustle, titled Culture Matters. Daily Hustle quote of the day: if we are to preserve culture, we must continue to create it. Daily Hustle translation: we finished the Let Them Play 13U season, ranked as the number one team at Perfect Game in the state of California and the number one team in the West. We had a great group of kids and families, but lost a couple kids to high school, one kid to tackle football, and three who decided to play for another team. That's, hey, can't do much about that. That said, we had just 5 kids remaining, and we're left trying to figure out if it would even be possible to put together a team for the fall. Well, we somehow pieced together a group of relatively unknown kids who came highly recommended from a talent perspective, but most importantly, seemed to align very well with the LTP Go Hard, Stay Humble and Hungry culture that has been cultivated over the past 6 years. Still, without the kids ever playing together, our expectations entering the first 14U fall tourney of the year against 25 of the top teams in California were extremely low. Then the boys showed up, and hot damn, they showed out. We won both pool play games on Saturday, then ran the table on Sunday, winning 3 straight hard-fought battles to take home the championship. As I was talking to the boys and parents after the tourney, I couldn't help but get a bit choked up. Just a few weeks earlier, we couldn't find enough kids to fill a team. And now we are hoisting a huge championship cup in the air. How? Well, pretty simple, actually. The LTP culture has been created by the kids, coaches, and parents, past and present, has a very unique way of putting the boys and the team in position to succeed. By continuing to foster an environment of encouragement while giving the kids the freedom to fail and obsess over the fight for every pitch and inch, we not only are preserving the LTP culture created by the past, but we are also creating a culture for the future while living in the moment. Bottom line, culture matters. And grateful for everyone who has helped create it. EB. Oh, okay. So, yeah, there was. Look, I really didn't know what to expect. And if you had told me we would go and win this thing I probably would have stopped short of saying that you're on crack, but I also would have told you we were fighting an uphill battle. If we were actually to put odds on this, I would say that realistically there were 5 to 7 teams that potentially could have won it. I would have put us on the back half of those teams. We certainly were not the favorites, nor do I think we were even close. Now, after pool play, we were fourth, which was good, really good, actually. We only gave up 3 runs in pool play, but we still had to climb an uphill battle. Look, this culture thing is real. And it's real in the sense that when you have other people come and join and they're able to seamlessly assimilate into what is going on, that's fucking huge. The biggest thing for me when we bring new kids in is to have them understand what the rules and the expectations are. Now, I'm going to do another daily hustle later in the week on rules and expectations, but more than anything, it's going over some of the logistics and the basics that you don't necessarily get to cover when you're a team that's not practicing together. But we spent hour and a half before the first game going over double cuts, relays, responsibilities, all those little things, and then talked about the expectations with the leads on the base pass, the jumps. The great thing about the organization, the Let Them Play organization, just in general, is that we're able to sort of seamlessly play because it is this quote unquote let them play. Every kid has the green light on the base pass, 3-0, all of it. Again, I tell them, use your head, right? You get on, first pitch slide step, fastball, pitchers 1-1 to the plate. We're going to have to pick and choose our spots to go. 3-0, they walk the first batter on 4 pitches, or 3-0 to you in the second, at bat of the inning. No, that's obviously not a good time to go ahead and swing the bat. Taught a few of them, not a few of them, talked to all of them about the third baseman and playing back and him being in left field. If there's a runner at first and second, maybe even a runner at third, and they're giving us the RBI, they're giving us the base hit. Take that thing. Why not? So we went over all these things, and then the boys went out there and fucking balled. It was so fun to watch. And to think that, look, they never played together. We had 5 kids who, in my opinion, hadn't really ever, and I say my opinion, but as far as I really know, haven't played a ton of high level sort of stuff. It makes a difference. When you're not playing and facing 80 plus miles per hour on a regular basis, and then you see it, you could even be super twitchy. You could have the swing for it, all of it. Some of it just comes down to timing. And it takes a little bit for those kids, even if they are talented, to get adjusted to it. But overall, super impressed with the way the kids went about their business. Super impressed with the composure, the demeanor. Sure, we had some mistakes. We had some things happen through the course of the weekend that we definitely could clean up. But it really did melt my heart in a way that this wasn't about me. This wasn't even about the kids so much as I think it was about the Let Them Play organization and what's been created, and the fact that kids are able to come in and kids are able to come back and just, hey, look, this is what we do. And the winning's the byproduct, really, of all the little things. It's the obsession over the details. It's the fighting for the pitch. It's fighting for the inch on the lead. It's getting the proper secondary. It's going on 2 strikes, 2 outs on the swing of the bat. As soon as those hands go, you go. Those are all the inches that add up that win baseball games. It's paying attention to a swing. And if we're getting a bunch of foul balls off to the right, we got to be moving. It's making these adjustments in game, in real time. And I think ultimately that's what's helped us, because certainly if you look out there, I will say that we were the most athletic team. I think for sure we were the most athletic team. I could not make the case that we were the best baseball players. And I definitely can make the case that we were not the most experienced baseball players. So what does that all add up to is fighting for these things that maybe the other team won. There was one team that we were playing, and I don't need to get into who it was, but their leadoff batter rolled over and hit a ground ball to second base and took like 3-4 hard steps out of the box and then just down the first baseline. And this is well before he was actually out. And right there, I said, they're fucking done. That's it. I said, number one, if I'm the coach, I'm pulling him. He's not seeing the field. That's it. Never, ever, 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 ever. I do think that kids have lapses in judgment sometimes, and sometimes they black out. So, I guess I can understand if you just want to give them a massive warning, but this is a type of thing. Like I watch kids on base hits, and they're making turns around first. And if I'm getting that lazy pull into first turn, it's disgusting. It really is. It's a terrible representation of you as a kid. It's a terrible representation of the game of baseball in general. It's a terrible representation of your coach, and it's a terrible representation of the name on the front of the jersey. Think about that if you're a kid and listening to this. It's not hard to run hard. I don't need this crazy all-out match effort. Maybe how I ran. Maybe that was a little too aggressive. But I do need a hard effort start to finish. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who is watching you. I had a great conversation with a former player of ours. And we talked about how this coming up year, he's a freshman in high school now. And I told him, I'm like, look, dude, he's a really talented kid. But I told him, I'm like, bro, this next year from a baseball perspective for you is really not that important. He's already on the national radar. There's plenty of people who know who he is. But where this is really important is not whether or not he plays high school varsity and goes and makes all league and everything. What's really important right now is that he continues to develop as a baseball player, but most importantly, as a person, as a teammate. Right now is the perfect time to focus all of your energy on doing that. Because when you're a sophomore and now you have all the scouts coming out to specifically watch you, and you can get offers now after your sophomore season or leading into your junior year, I believe August 1st is that date. I'm like, dude, make sure when they go out there to watch you, understand this. They already know you're good. They have seen your talent. They know, they understand your talent. When the scouts are actually there at the games, what they're looking for is how you're going to react after you punch out. How are you going to react if you're on the mound and kid hits a pop-up and one of your infielders drops it and you're left hanging out there? What are you going to do? What are you going to say? And I don't blame like a natural reaction like, oh, shit, you're right. But then, hey, we're good. Pick it back up. So a lot of being a prospect is about this journey. And along the journey, I truly feel that you go through these different developmental processes. And in the early going, let's just say up until 12U, a lot of that is really some fundamental stuff, right? Learning how to field a ground ball, learning how to swing a bat, how to take a two-strike approach, how to properly get behind a ball in the outfield, all the tools, making sure we stay on our toes, our head's not moving. All the fundamentals of the game are supplanted within you in those first 12, 13 years. Well, once you have those, it's then about refining what it is and making them your own and doing what you think you need to do to put yourself in position to succeed. But I think the big transformation happens in that 14, 15, 16 time period where you mentally become a rock and you learn how to deal with failure because there's going to be more of it. You're not going to hit 500 for the rest of your life. And then making the adjustments and understanding that this is what I have to do to be successful. This is what I can do in the moment to help my team win. Because ultimately, I can tell you as a coach, when I put together a team, I'm not picking the 15, 20 best players, whatever it is. I just dealt with it in an effort of helping put together one of the California All-State teams. This wasn't about the best players. This was about the guys that I thought could help us win baseball games. This is about the guys that I felt could buy into a role and understand it and go out there and do it to the best of their ability with a smile on their face. That is the stuff that matters. So all this is leading up to, ideally for, a lot of these kids that I've been able to coach, is playing at the next level beyond high school, in college, or potentially in professional baseball. So anyhow, it was quite the fun weekend. I could have never expected the results that we were able to get, but like everything else, it's not what you've done, it's what you got to do. We have another tournament, Best of the West, which is going to be a banger out there in AZ. It's going to be very, very difficult. It's supposed to be 10 of the better teams in the country, and we're going to have our work cut out for us. But regardless of the result, the wins, losses, whatever, I can promise you, we're going to go out there and we're going to fight for that inch. We're going to fight for that pitch. We are going to obsess over the details. And then, hey, look, wherever we finish, we finish. But again, let's just take care of all the shit we can control and let go of all the stuff that we can't. Okay, Bryce Eldridge. That's right. Here we go. Throw a little music in there with it. This dude finally called up to the big. I say finally. I've been championing to get him to the show as quickly as possible. This is even before they traded for Devers. But he did get the call. And then last night in his debut, he looked the part in Arizona. He spit on some nasty changeups from Zach Gallen in his first at bat, eventually working the count full before smoking a ball to the first baseman at 99 miles per hour. Second at bat, same sort of thing. Got into a very nice AB, battled through it. Gallen threw him like a knuckle curveball, strike three swinging in the dirt. His third at bat, he came up and fucking donkey stomped a ball. It would have been gone in 23 out of the 30 parks, but not in Arizona. It's 413 out there. He hit it 407 feet, and the ball was caught at the warning track. To see his family out there, his friends, whoever else it was that was giving him the standing ovation and encouraging him was so cool. The kid just 20. 2-0, 20 years old. He does have a full-grown ass beard, but was really fun to watch that. Now, what wasn't fun was obviously the loss that the Giants ended up taking yesterday. That put the Diamondbacks now in front of them in the wild card chase. So the standings, as we look at it now, with the wild card in the National League, you have the Cubs, who are a shoe-in. They're 86-64. You have the San Diego Padres, who they're 5 up on the New York Mets, who are currently occupy that third wild card spot. Arizona is now 1.5 games back. Pretty incredible. Cincinnati, 2 games back. And then San Francisco, 2 games back as well at 75 and 75. So tonight, the Diamondbacks and the Giants are back at it at 6:40 p.m. Pacific time. Will Clark and I will be on the alternative broadcast call. Looking forward to that. We'll do a little pregame leading you up into it. We'll come on here just a little bit past 6 o'clock, 6:05 specifically, and then at least go through the first 2 or 3 innings of that game as the Giants and the Snakes get after it. That should be a fun one. The MLB power rankings now have just come out every week. Let's see here. They've asked a select group of baseball writers, local and national, to rank the teams from first to worst. Here are the collective results. It says here in exactly 2 weeks, we'll be settling in for the first playoff game of 2025. All this wild card chaos settled. 18 teams will be going home to recuperate for a little while before firing up the 2026 Hope Machine. But September 30th will come when it comes. Today, there are still regular season games to be played. There is still wild card chaos to relish. And if you live west of Omaha, that chaos spill has yet to be cleaned up from the division races. The hope of opening day is indiscriminate. All 30 teams can dream on best case scenarios. Last September, that's for the teams who follow through. But even if your team lacks October intrigue, there's always something worth watching. This week, they're identifying one reason to focus on the final grains of sand as the hourglass slips toward 162. Okay, I mean, enough of the fucking wax poetic shit. Let's go worst to first. That's always a fun way to do it. All right, 30th place, the Colorado Rockies. They are 41-109. Washington Nationals are tied for 28th place with the Chicago White Sox. Then you got the Pittsburgh Pirates, despite Paul Skeens having an incredible year, slam dunk Cy Young Award campaign, in my humble opinion. Cool for them to honor Roberto Clemente yesterday. They now have Roberto Clemente Day, so all sorts of different festivities took place throughout the course of the day. Latin American baseball players wore number 21. I thought that was really cool. They said worth watching Paul Skeens start. 26, the Minnesota Twinkies. 25, the Los Angeles Angels. I thought they were in it for a minute. Fuck, man, they fell off. 69-81. The Braves are at 24. The Marlins at 23. The Orioles, 70-80, just 10 games below 500 now. I mean, considering their dog shit start, it's not bad. They're at 22. The A's, 70-80, are at 21. If the A's, think about this. Remember that stretch where the A's went like, I don't know, it was 1-25? Like something so fucking ridiculous. If they had just played 500 baseball, they'd have a chance in the postseason during that stretch. St. Louis, 73-78. They're at number 20. Kansas City, 75 and 75 are at 19. Tampa Bay, how do you fucking Kansas City 75 and 75. And you have the Rays are 73 and 77 and ranked ahead of them. That doesn't make sense to me at all. Reds are at 75 and 75. They're number 17. Diamondbacks 76 and 5, 76 and 75 at 16. Giants 75 and 75 at 15. New York Mets 77 73 at 14. The Guardians 78 and 71 are at 13. Then it's the Rangers 79 and 72 at 12. The AL West is going to be fun. That's going to be a good one down the stretch. The Astros 82 and 69. They're at 11. The Red Sox are at 10. They're 82 and 68. Then you got the Padres 82 and 68 at 9. The Mariners 82 and 68 at 8. The New York Yankees 83 and 67 at 7. The Tigers 85 and 65, 20 games over 500 at 6. The Cubs 86 and 64 at 5. The Dodgers 84 and 66 at 4. The Blue Jays, they have as the third ranked team in the power rankings, 88 and 62. Number 2 would be your Philadelphia Phillies, who clinched the NL East last night. They're 90 and 61. And then, of course, the numero uno team still in Major League Baseball right now, the Milwaukee Brewers, 91 and 59. So, again, from that wild card standing perspective, well, let's just take a look, for example. Let's take a look for a minute. Yeah, in the AL West, you got Seattle is a half game up on Houston right now, 3.5 up on Texas. The wild card in the American League has Cleveland is going to be 3 out, and that's 3 back of Houston. So Houston or Seattle, it looks like, most likely will get that unless Texas is able to sneak in somehow, some way. And then props to the Toronto Blue Jays, who last night had a rookie pitcher, Savage. This guy was lights out for the Blue Jays. The box score on Savage was ridiculous. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and ready for this, 9 strikeouts for the Toronto right-hander. All right. Tonight's games we could hit right now. I talked to you earlier about the Giants and Diamondbacks going at it. You got the Braves at the Nationals, the Guardians at the Tigers, the Cubs at the Pirates, the A's at the Red Sox. That's always a fun one. And look out for Red Sox rookie pitcher early. This guy was filthy in his debut. You have the Padres and the Mets going at it. That should be a fun one in Queens. Blue Jays at the Rays, Mariners at the Royals, Orioles at the White Sox, Yankees at the Twins, Angels at the Brewers, Reds at the Cardinals, Rangers at the Astros, Marlins at the Rockies, Giants at D-backs, Phillies at the Dodgers, and the Braves at the Nationals. All right. Will and I will be on later this evening. I mean, we're talking, 4 hours from now, basically. So I'm going to go get myself some pickleball in, and we will be right back on here. Quick double sky point, by the way, to our guy, Robert Redford. Roy Hobbs passes away at the age of 89. That was a movie that I saw for the first time at the Belmont Theater on the El Camino in Belmont, California. And I loved it so much that I made my mom stay. I was 9 years old, and we watched it again back to back. So forever, a shout out to Roy. I have my Knights jersey in here somewhere. Maybe I'll wear it tonight for Deuces Wild. All right. That's about it. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in a few hours. See